I made the mistake of calling myself an Englishman. The internet fucking hated this. Comedy's been very kind to me, believe it or not. I've had some amazing opportunities in the last couple of years. Recently, a couple of years ago, I did a show called Mock the Week. It was pretty cool. And then they cancelled the show. And then I made my first appearance on a Netflix show called Sex Education. Oh, yeah, Sex Education. And they cancelled that show as well. And then last year, I appeared on a show called Celebrity Masterchef. Oh, flipping hell! And then the restaurant I cooked in shut down immediately after. I don't know what it is I'm doing wrong, right? And I don't know if you know this, they also cancelled Greg Wallace. You see this? Now, if you didn't see the show, I undercooked chicken twice. On one episode, undercooked chicken twice, and Greg had it both times. And the Daily Mail, believe it or not, the Daily Mail wrote an article about it. Asian comedian tries to poison national treasure Greg Wallace. And they called me up and they asked me for a quote. And the quote I gave them was, "I did it in solidarity with the women." And the Daily Mail did not print that quote, all right? But here's the thing, what's curious about TV nowadays? You know, the world has changed a lot. About 10 years ago, if I'd done all the TV I'd done, I'd be a fucking millionaire, right? I wouldn't be filming my special at Top Secret Comedy Club. Right? I'll be doing it at the Palladium. But the world's changed, right? So you've got to try and go viral online. That's the big thing. And I'm happy to say that last year, I went a bit viral online. I posted a stand-up comedy clip, got 2.5 million views. Oh, yeah. And I think there's two reasons the clip got 2.5 million views. First reason, I've got to say this, I'm a stand-up. It was funny, innit? But the main reason is I'd forgotten that the internet's favourite hobby is correcting people. On this clip, I made the mistake of calling myself an Englishman. The internet fucking hated this. Very quickly, lots of racism came my way. The P word was used pretty quickly. Shout out if you know it. Okay. Just checking. The P word was used pretty quickly, but what was curious was this. I felt sorry for the racists, right? Because when they were saying racist stuff to me, I didn't realise that what they were saying was meant to be racist. I don't know all the racist phrases for my people. I'm not on the newsletters. One guy said to me, "You can't be English, because you and your ancestors are all, wait for it, curry munchers." I'd never fucking heard of this before. You and your ancestors are curry munchers. All right, let's unpick this for a second. I don't know if you've had curry. It's delicious. Also, in a country that's 86% white, it's the national dish! Also, my ancestors, 500, 1,000, 10,000 years ago, somewhere in the Indian subcontinent, these little Indians, they understood whole spices and ground spices, and you add it to a fat sauce with a protein and maybe a yogurt, and you make one of the most delicately balanced dishes in the world, a curry, while you lot were eating porridge. I'd much rather be a curry muncher than a porridge honky. Do you know what I mean? But here's the thing, this is what I learned on that clip, because there was so much racism going on. Even amongst the comments, I realised that my view on racism is a bit like this. It's like, obviously racism's bad, isn't it? Do you agree? Yeah, OK, cool. Some of you are a bit like, interesting opinion. Generally, racism is bad, but my rule on racism is this. If you're going to be racist and funny, I'll let you do it. That's my number one. One guy commented, it made me laugh so much. One guy commented on this clip. His name was @FreePrinceAndrew. And by all accounts, he's been freed of the title of Prince, hasn't he? So that's... @FreePrinceAndrew, on this clip where I called myself an Englishman, simply wrote the letters VAR. That is funny shit. Now, if you don't know what VAR is Video Assistant Referee, right? It's a bit of technology that they use in football to try and help with difficult offside decisions or other technical decisions. So and it's got a bit of controversy around it because it doesn't always work properly. So it's a very expensive bit of technology that doesn't always work properly. Like the Iron Dome in Israel. By the way, the Iron Dome, right, is one of the most expensive bits of technology in the world. It can spot missiles coming from hundreds of thousands of miles away. And so on 7th of October, 2 years ago, the only question I've got for you is, do you know how slow paraglides are? They forgot to program one of the most advanced bits of military equipment to see 6 blokes in tunics going... Allahu Akbar! Anyway, we'll move on. the tension in the room is really funny. But here's the thing. So, my thing about Englishness, one of the things I love about Englishness is we're the kings of banter. Like, I do comedy for a living. My currency is banter, I guess, in some respect. But we are just English people are just a funny group of people. And because I've got to do this job, I've got to travel up and down this country to put corners of the country that a lot of you wouldn't have seen, because that's where comedy takes you. I recently did some shows in a place called Runcorn, which is just outside Liverpool, right? And I had a second show that same night in Liverpool. So I got a taxi to take me from Runcorn to Liverpool, because that's how taxis work, right? And a little PSA for you, London. Up north, some of the taxi drivers are white people. I got on the back of this taxi, I was like, they're stealing our fucking jobs. I don't fucking believe this, mate. Oh, they're going to be doctors soon enough. This is unbelievable. Now, I got into this taxi, and you know, Northerners generally, but Northern taxi drivers especially, have a reputation for being, like, quite friendly. So I got into the back of this taxi, and as typical, this Scouse taxi driver was like, "All right, lad, how you fucking doing, mate? You good, yeah?" I said, "Yeah." He goes, "Lad, where are you from, mate?" I said, How many froms are you asking?" He goes, "No, lad, where did you travel from today, mate?" I said, "How are you?" "I'm from London." He goes, "Fucking hell, London, yeah!" My best mate lived in London for fucking years. Let's call him. I was like, all right. I guess we're calling this fucker. Let's call him. So he rings in, bring. Guy answers the phone. Taxi driver. "Lad, there's a bloke here in the taxi, mate. He's from London." And the guy on the phone goes, "All right." Taxi driver goes, "Lad, you're in London for fucking years. Whereabouts did you live, mate?" Guy on the phone goes, "Catford." What? Then the guy on the phone goes, "Lad, whereabouts are you from, mate?" I said, "I'm from a place in East London called Whitechapel." The guy on the phone goes, "Yeah, mate, loads of fucking Asians there." At which point the taxi driver was like, "All right, lad, I'll see you later, mate." And here's the thing, even something as simple as taking a taxi, right? That's when I realised that an exchange as simple as taking a taxi can be fraught with a bit of difference just by virtue of the fact that I'm an Asian man. What's your name, sir?
Hank.
Now, Hank, let's say you have a great night tonight. After this show, you get absolutely shit-faced, right? You might get an Uber to go home, yeah? What you might do is order the Uber, you sit in the back of the Uber, you can fall asleep, and when you get to your destination, the Uber driver will turn around and go, "Hey! Fuck off!" It's not the same thing for me, Hank. Because I'll go out, I'll get absolutely shit-faced, I'll order an Uber, I'll sit in the back of the Uber, the Uber driver will spend the rest of the journey trying to work out whether or not he knows members of my family. It's not the same fucking experience. I sat in the back of the taxi, Wasim, the taxi driver, he wanted to find out whether he knew my dad, whether he knew my uncles, whether he knew my uncle's goats. He was asking everything. He wasn't getting anything from me. I was too drunk to have this conversation. Eventually, Wasim lost the will to live. And he pulled a move that I thought was gangster. What he did was he went, "Eshaan Akbar, yeah? Your name is Eshaan Akbar. Eshaan Akbar. Are you Muslim, bruv?" Now, I'm pissed in the back of a taxi. Pretty clear indication where I stand on that particular topic. And the Muslim part of my brain kicked in saying, "Eshaan, you fucking disgrace." Here you are in the back of a taxi at 2 a.m. on a Wednesday morning. Don't ask questions. Here you are. 2 a.m. on a Wednesday morning, pissed out of your mind in the back of a taxi, and Wasim is doing the kind of job that your dad had to do when he first came to this country. You're a disgrace to yourself, you're a disgrace to your family, you're a disgrace to your community, you're a disgrace to everyone who is associated with you in any capacity whatsoever. And the English part of my brain went, don't worry, son, I've got a plan. I understand that the Muslim taxi driver has inquired as to whether or not you're a Muslim man. The best way to deal with this situation, while you are absolutely shit-faced at 2 a.m. in the morning, on a Wednesday in the back of his taxi, would be to recite a passage of the Quran fluently. I pulled out the best Arabic you've ever fucking heard, bro. There was phlegm everywhere. Taxi driver, reasonably pacified, he lets me go to sleep. I fall asleep, get to my destination. He turns around and wakes me up and goes, oi, 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 we're here. I was like, thanks, brother, I'm going to go. He goes, no, before you go, I've got a question for you. I said, really, what's that? He goes, listen, I can tell that you are a bit of an infidel. I was like, that's unnecessarily hurtful, actually. He goes, I've got a question, and I think you might have a good answer for me. I said, what's that? He turned around and he went, do you want some snow? Mashallah, brother! I took the number, because I'll have a look. He'll have a look! I had to learn the art of code switching. When you live in London, I think, because it's such a diverse place, you've got to know how to code switch. Now, if you're an ethnic minority, you'll be familiar with this idea of code switching, where you speak a certain way to your friends and family, and then you white it up. But the white people, you do it too. You've got code switching. You've got your normal voice that you use with your friends and family, and you've got your telephone voice, the way you speak to your colleagues and customers. So my normal voice is this. Thank you for coming to London Top Secret Comedy Club. Hope you have a lovely time. And my telephone voice is, hello, welcome to First Direct. I find myself code switching in places I don't particularly want to. Like, you know, like I said, my career's going pretty well at the moment, and I'm getting to do stuff with my life that I feel quite happy about, like doing my house up and paying for it myself. Feels like a big, significant step in the journey of my life, right? And I've got some work done in my house, and the builder came round. Now, straight men in the audience, I don't know how you feel about this, but when I meet a man in my home who I consider does, like, a more alpha job than I do, like they're a plasterer or a builder or a porn star, whatever it is. Yeah? I feel like I've got to change the way I speak and behave so that he likes me enough to give me a good price. This guy crossed the threshold into my home. I don't know what the fuck happened to me. I started talking to him like I was Danny Dyer. I was like, all right, mate. How you fucking doing, son? I started knocking on random walls and kicking shit I've never kicked before. I was like, fucking hell, the slabs on this need a bit of changing. At one point, I did a two-step. I was like, fucking hell, son. Got him right to the front. I said, what do you reckon, then, son? You reckon you can get me a fucking deal? You reckon you can get old Akbar here? Proper fucking deal, son. He looked at me and he said, I'm Lithuanian. I don't understand why you're doing I can't tell white people apart, bro. But the place I hated code switching the most, right? I went to the white people mecca of Indian restaurants. Dishu. Oh, you fuckers love the shit out of this place. Oh my God, have you had the black dal? It's to die for. Shut the fuck up. People kept banging on about Dishu to me. I was like, you know what? Let me check out this restaurant. Let me check out what this is about. Got to the restaurant. The menu looked fantastic. I've got to be honest. Saw lots of menu items there that I was familiar with from my childhood. I was dead excited, right? I sat down, the waitress comes over. I said to her, hi there, hi. May I please get the bhel, the murg malai, and the rumali roti, please? Siobhan, the diversity hire. She looks at me and she said, I'm terribly sorry, sir. I didn't catch that. I then had to order the food of my own people in the most English accent I could muster to a bitch that can't even say her own name properly, Sayo Pan. What are we doing? We've just changed the rules of the game. I looked at her, I said, I'm terribly sorry, it's my fault. May I please have the vegetarian pale? The chicken merg malai. Merg is actually chicken in South Asia. I'm just saying the same thing. Saying the same thing twice. It's like saying chai tea or naan. Do you know what? Don't worry about it. Could I get the Romali roti bread, please? To which Siobhan says, yes, sir, excellent choices. I fucking know, it's my food! Pissing me off. I was trained in the art of code switching early doors because my parents, in their wisdom, decided to send me to private school. Now, I got into this private school on an academic scholarship, which I think is a big gig. Like, my parents weren't rich enough to send me, so I studied hard to get to private. Like, that is lame. That is lame as shit. And the thing is, because I went to private school, my disposition is like this. Not only do English people not consider me English, but a lot of Asian people don't consider me Asian. They call me something called a coconut. I don't even know what a coconut is. A coconut is someone who's brown on the outside and white on the inside. And they think I'm a coconut because I'm white on the inside. Why am I white on the inside? I sound like this. I like dogs. And I think gay people are all right. Do you know what I mean? And the thing is, I went to a kind of private school I just did not belong, right? I lived about 45 minutes away from this school. All the guys lived in, like, rich areas. And at so many times, it was so bloody embarrassing, right? I'd come out of the school gates and I'd see Range Rover, Dad's Honda Accord, Range Rover. Because my dad had a Honda, my nickname in school was E-Honda.
Oh, my God!
E-Honda is a Street Fighter character who's a sumo wrestler. Personally, I didn't mind the fact that my dad had a Honda Accord because I knew where he was. I'd come out the school gate, I'd be like, where's my dad? Oh, there's a gap. Right? This school was so insane. Every year, there was one kid in my year, 3 times a year, he'd get dropped off in a helicopter. I was 11 years old when I first saw a helicopter, and it blew my fucking mind. And the thing is, rich kids are trained differently. From early, they're trained to be unimpressed by things that are obviously impressive. At 11 years old, I see this helicopter land. The rest of the year is like, oh my God, it's so 1993. I'd only ever seen a helicopter on news coverage of the Gulf War. So I didn't know whether I had to run away from it because they shoot brown people, or run to it to collect aid. I didn't know whether... I think one big issue I had at school is, like, for a long time, I really found it hard to make friends. And I'm not going to say it was anything to do with my personality, because that is obviously dazzling, right? But I had this thing, so I was surrounded by people who were also of an Asian persuasion, who had quite English names. My best friend from university is a girl called Tracy. She's a Sikh woman. And the thing is, our parents' generation actually did this. They wanted to give us kind of anglicised names so we could kind of fit into society a bit better and maybe perhaps even get through on job applications. When I was at school, I was like, I think I need an English name. That's what I need. I need an English name because it'll help me integrate into the school and it'll make me, perhaps be good for my future. So I decided to ask my friends to give me an English name. And they said to me, we've already got an English name for you. I said, really, what's that? And they said, well, we call you Stan. I was like, oh, like Stanley? They're like, yeah, Stanley. I'm like, oh, this is sick. Stan is such a beautiful name. Like, I could be Lord Stanley of the Manor. Stanley is my formal name. Stan is my informal name. And for 15 years, I went up and down this country meeting brand new people saying, my name is Stan. I introduced myself as Stan. There are people from my life who will know me as Stan. Then one day, I went to a pub in Middlesbrough. I started chatting to a customer, or a crackhead, I can't tell the difference. He says to me, what's your name? I said, my name's Stan, mate. He goes, say that again. I said, my name's Stan. He goes, Stan? I said, yeah, Stan. He goes, what? Like Packy? It was at that point that I realised that wanker Ben from school gave me the name Stan because he couldn't say packy. And as far as banter goes, that's fucking top class, mate. That is top-level banter. Fair play, Ben. I hated this guy. I never got on with him at school. When he gave me this name, I thought he was trying to be my friend, but he's a little cunt, isn't he? I had so many run-ins with this. One of my most memorable run-ins with him, we were passing each other on the playground, and as we passed each other, apropos of nothing, Ben just shouts out, "Oi! Skid mark!" I said, "What? What did you say?" He said, "Skid mark." I said, "What is a skid mark?" He said, "Oh." It's when you get... It's when you get a line of shit in your underwear. I said, "Why? Why have you got a line of shit in your underwear?" He said, "Oh. Well, if you don't wipe properly, you might leave a line of shit." I said, "Why? Why are you wiping?" He goes, "What do you do?" I said, "I wash." He said, "How?" I said, "Well, that depends on how rich you are." He goes, "What do you mean?" I said, "Well, if you're poor, there's like a little pot. It looks like a teapot. And you fill it with water." And he said, "And then what do you do?" And I said, "Well, that depends on how fat you are." Because you can pick it up and if you're thin, you can kind of lean forward and pour the water down the back. But if you're fat, you've got to go from the front and use your left hand to clean your bum hole. And he said, "What do you do if you're rich?" I said, "Well, there's a bum gun." and you pick up the bum gun. And the same rules of fatness apply. So if you're thin, you can kind of pour it. But if you're fat, you've got to spray from the front and use your left hand to clean your bum hole. And then he asked me the stupidest question any human being has ever asked me. I told him all that, and he said, Do you wash your hands afterwards?" "No, we take the shit and rub it on our face. Of course we wash our hands, dickhead." I do that routine because 80% of my audience is white, right? And, I like you. I like you as a people. Well done. Well done on being white. Cool. I don't respect you. Because my anxiety the whole time I'm on stage is these lovely people have got shitty, crusty bum holes. I don't know why. In Africa, in Asia, in mainland Europe, they've gone, "Do you know what? When we have a shit, we're going to wash our bum holes." But Britain collectively went, "No, thank you. We'll use paper, thank you very much." Here's the thing, that story, when I first said skid mark, some of you were a bit shocked, because, that's obviously quite a racist thing to say to someone. And as I'm getting older and older, I'm getting more relaxed about the fact that people would say these stupid kind of things to me. And I say I'm getting older. 2 months ago, I turned 41 years old. Thank you. Let me get a sense of the room. Give me a cheer if you're 40 or older. Yeah, cool. 30s people? Fair few. 20s? Oh, there you are, you stupid, silly little cunts! I cannot stand people in their 20s. I can't stand you. And it's not because I'm jealous. I'll tell you what it is. People in your 20s, I think because you've had the internet your whole life, you think you know everything. And you walk around the world acting as though your generation is the first generation to have socially progressive thoughts. No previous generation has the thoughts that you've ever had. You're out there going like, "Oh my God, I'm so LGBT positive, yeah. I'm so sex positive, fuck who you want to fuck, I don't care, ooh. I'm not racist, I could never be racist. I read, I'm so cool, ooh." And then you get to your 40s, you can't buy a property, you're like, maybe immigration's a problem. I don't know. What I'm saying is your opinions are going to change. Life has a way of fucking you up. Basically what I'm trying to say, at the age of 41, I'm racist, innit? And my racism, because I was born and raised in England, is right-wing English flag-shagging racism, bro. 8 weeks ago, I was painting roundabouts. And by the way, I love being an English nationalist. I love being an English nationalist. Anyone else? I love being an English nationalist. It's so good. I turn up to the marches, everyone's fucking confused. But I'm getting more honest. I think as a society, it's important that we do this, that we're more honest about our flaws and foibles as human beings. I think in so much social political discourse, we expect everyone to be perfect all of the time. That's not how it works. I'm realising I'm getting more racist and xenophobic as I get older. I realised this on a recent trip I made to Vietnam. Anybody been to Vietnam? Yeah, a few of you. Amazing country, had the time of my life, beautiful food, beautiful people, beautiful history, everything. The problem started as soon as I landed in Vietnam. I landed in Vietnam, I'm going through immigration. As I'm walking through immigration, I'd look at the immigration officers. And all the immigration officers in Vietnam looked visibly Vietnamese. They looked like the people I'd come to see. Who were the immigration officers at Heathrow? It's my fucking family. When did this happen? When in Asian households did they say you can be doctor, lawyer, engineer, immigration officer? These are your options. Also, if you live outside the UK and all you keep hearing is Asians and Muslims, they're fucking taking over, mate. The Asians and Muslims, they're fucking taking over the UK, mate. You land at Heathrow, you'd believe it. Because the first line of defence is a load of people that look like me saying, what are you doing in this country? How long are you here for? Completely spun me out. The last couple of years, I've been booked a lot more to do gigs abroad. And when I get booked abroad, I get booked as an English comedian. And I bloody love it. I love being booked as an English comedian because I grew up loving football. I wanted to represent England at football, but my school kept making me play cricket. So now when they book me as a comedian abroad, I feel like I'm representing England abroad, and it feels so fucking sick. And the thing is, I know that there's loads of problems in this country. Honestly, I understand that there's loads of problems. And if you're an ethnic minority, if you're Jewish, you might be thinking like, oh my God, there's a lot of issues going on here. But I have to say, England is the best country in the world to be an ethnic minority in. I mean that from the bottom of my heart. I wouldn't want to be black in America. I wouldn't want to be Muslim in France. I wouldn't want to be in Sweden. I think sometimes it's just good to take stock, but I also understand when I go abroad and I'm representing England, it feels a bit embarrassing. Because parts of England are runcorn. Like, I recently did some shows in Dubai. Anybody been to Dubai? Yeah. The UAE gained independence in 1971. They have an ice rink in the desert! In Dubai, none of the locals drink alcohol because everything fucking works. The only people drinking are expats because they can't believe everything fucking works, bro. In Dubai, police officers drive Maseratis. These are £100,000 luxury supercars. Police officers driving Maseratis. Spun me out. I called one of these police officers. I said, wait, come here. No, I'm not building that. Come here. You're a police officer. Why the fuck are you driving a Maserati? It's a £100,000 supercar. Why are you driving that? He looked at me like I was the biggest dickhead on the planet. I said, no, explain. You're a police officer. Why are you driving a Maserati? He looked at me and he said, we are chasing people in Ferraris. I went, oh my God, even the crime is better here. Because what are all police officers doing? They're in Vauxhall Astras, chasing people on e-scooters, shoplifting from B&M. We used to be a proper country. And it's so embarrassing as well, right? Because I'm a born and bred Londoner. Like I said, I was born in the East End of London, Whitechapel, or as my family call it, Brown Mosque. Let me get a sense of the room. Make some noise if you live in London. Woo! And from the people who cheered, make some noise if you were born in London. Woo! Fewer people, and that's the real fucking immigration problem we've got in this country. is these white home counties bastards moving into my city, opening up Gales in Brixton, right? There's all this nonsense from people who live in Brexit towns and reformy cities going, can't go to London anymore, it's not safe. London's not safe anymore. You've got to wear a stab vest. You've got to keep your wits about you. London's not safe. You haven't got a fucking clue, mate. I was born and raised in this city. When I was growing up, do you know where you didn't go? Shoreditch. You know where you didn't set foot? Hackney. You didn't go to Brixton. Back then, 20, 30 years ago, women would walk with pushchairs. There wouldn't be a baby in it. Drugs. Now people keep banging on about how unsafe London is. London's not unsafe. It's embarrassing. I'll tell you how embarrassing London's become. 6 weeks ago, I almost got mugged. I'll tell you blow for blow what happened, right? I did my gig. After the gig, I'm going to the station. As I'm walking towards the station, I see two nefarious characters on a scooter, and my spidey senses kicked in. Because man's from East London, cuz. Man's from the fucking hood. Ignore the private school education. Man's out here still! So I was like, right, Eshaan, what you do, put your phone in your pocket, you'll be fine. No sooner had I put the phone in my pocket, the scooter had ridden round, and one of the guys on the scooter went to grab the phone. But instead of grabbing the phone, he grabbed my arm. And I, instinctively, grabbed his arm. He stumbled off the back of the scooter, so on a Friday night in the middle of London, we were just standing there, holding each other's arms. And in my head, I was like, Eshaan, you can make a stand for London today, baby. You let this motherfucker know. London's not fallen. And a hood rat is always a hood rat, cuz! And if you're in London, if you're a Londoner, you're going to be so fucking proud of me, because that night I let him know. That night, as I held his hand, with rage in my heart and venom in my eyes, I looked at him and I said, don't do that again. Original bad man. my dad says to me that he thinks I'm brave. He thinks I'm brave for doing comedy. When I told him about the mugging story, he's like, you're out every night, anything could happen, and you go up and down this country, especially with all this reform stuff going on. You're brave for going out as a brown guy to these places trying to tell jokes to these people. I'm like, Dad, no, that's bollocks. You're brave. You came to this country in the 60s from Pakistan, a warm, beautiful place where you had friends and family. And then you ended up in Upton Park. And you came here trying to build a life for me. I'm not brave for telling jokes. He goes, no, son, you don't understand. You're telling jokes to people who used to put up signs that said, no blacks, no dogs, no Irish, no Packies. People used to go out Packie bashing, and you're going and entertaining these people. You have nothing in common with them. I said, Dad, you're wrong. I understand that was a really tough time. I have everything in common with those people. The only difference is they've got shittier assholes. My dad's been a paramedic for 35 years. He's actually in the audience tonight. Round of applause for my dad, everybody. My dad's been working for the NHS for 35 years. He's been a paramedic for most of that time. That is a brave job. Not this. I've got like five cameras recording me telling stupid jokes, right? That's a brave job. And I know when my dad's had a really tough day at work, because he'll come home and he'll hug me tighter and he'll hug my brother tighter. And that's when I know he's probably lost someone of a similar age profile to us, probably in his arms. And I say, Dad, how do you deal with that, right? The worst that can happen to me is I'll tell a joke, no one laughs. But you've got life and death in your hands. And he says, son, yeah, I mean, it's a tough job, so you've got to have a bit of a dark sense of humour. I'm like, yeah, I suppose I get that makes sense. And he goes, and sometimes we play games. I was like, what kind of games do you play? And he goes, well, we've got a game called Code Red. I was like, right, what's Code Red? And he goes, well, Code Red is when you get like a cardiac arrest or a serious road traffic accident. And when the Code Red comes through in the ambulance, me and my crewmate take bets as to whether or not they'll survive. I was like, I don't like this game, Dad. Because I feel like you're in charge of the outcome. He's like, no, I want to do insider trading on someone's life. I take my job seriously, but we have to try. I'm like, well, what do you do? He goes, well, obviously I wouldn't do that. We just take bets on it. But one day I did play a prank on my crewmate. I said, really, what's the prank? And he goes, well, we got a code red through, 66-year-old woman, cardiac arrest, and she had a history of ill health. And I was like, she's definitely not going to make this. And my crewmate was like, I reckon we can do it. Now, all first aiders and paramedics are trained to give CPR the same way, right? You do it to the tune of the song Staying Alive, right? Staying alive, staying alive. So I said to my crewmate just before we were about to do it, I'm going to change the song. I said, Dad, would you change it to? He said, classic bit of British banter. Ding-a-ding-a-ding-a-ding-a-ding. That's not funny, Dad. I think about my parents' generation, my grandparents' generation, and everything, all the conversations happening right now. And I think about the level of ambition it took for that generation to go, do you know what? I'm going to go to another country where I don't know anyone. I'm going to try and make something of myself. And if I have children, give them the kind of opportunities, in my case, that only 7% of the whole country get to do. Go to private school. I know there's issues with going to private school. That absolutely makes sense. We can talk about that another time. But for my parents' generation, our grandparents' generation, the sons and daughters of immigrants here, we cannot begin to fathom the world that our parents inhabited when they came here to this God-forsaken country. For me to have the audacity to stand on stage and tell jokes to all of you, I think we give them the flowers. Give them a round of applause, like these guys. And I actually think that the world in general just lacks ambition. I know we've got all this AI and all this, but I don't think as a people we're ambitious anymore, because I alluded to this with this 20 people in their 20s. You've got the world at your fingertips, so there's nothing to aspire for. I think about the Wright brothers, the guys who invented the plane. Think about those guys. They were on ground and they looked at the sky and they said, we are going to build something that takes human beings from land into the sky. We take it for granted now, but that must have sounded crazy when they first said it in the pub. We're going to put some blokes from land into the sky. And then hundreds of years later, some Arabs went, we're going to take those planes and fly into 2 buildings. The greatest, most ambitious terrorist attack of all time. Things have never been as good since 2001 in terrorism. It's like Manchester United. We peaked then. What do terrorists do now? They drive over people on pavements. That's a GTA Level 1 mission. I remember being 18 years old when I saw the Twin Towers fall to the ground because it was an inside job. And if you don't believe me, did you see that plane, Air India, that crashed into a building in India and killed everyone except one person? The building didn't collapse, it's made of mud. How does a steel... Anyway. I remember being 18 years old when 9/11 happened and the world changed beyond recognition. Those Twin Towers fell. And the next day, Eshaan Akbar was dangerous. I couldn't go anywhere, baby. I'm probably going to be on a list. It's fucking dangerous, baby. Because the thing is, Asian men, we're not sexualized. We're never represented as viable sexual options on any films or anything. But after 9/11, in my sexual peak, women were like, this guy might fuck me up, bro. This is... I loved it. I loved being all raw. My name's Eshaan Akbar. I could switch at any time. Be careful. And you know what? Whenever I travelled abroad, I was always always looking forward to getting stopped. Because it made me feel like I was dangerous. One of the saddest tragedies of my life is it's never happened. I've never been stopped. And that's the only time I rue the fact I went to private school. Yeah, because obviously I come across as way too English when I go abroad. They don't stop me. It's fucking embarrassing. But there was one occasion, a couple of years ago, we went to Canada. We were flying back from Canada. And my brother and I were just talking to each other. And all the immigration officers in Canada are also brown. There must be some sort of international cartel. I don't know what the fuck's going on. Anyway, so I'm talking to my brother, and behind me, I hear one of the brown women. She says, "Excuse me, sir, you have been randomly selected for an advanced security search." And I looked at my brother and I went, "Fucking yes! This is the dream, baby!" Check your phone, where have we done a terrorism? Check. I turned round, I looked at the woman, and it transpired she wasn't speaking to me, she was speaking to the white man standing behind us. Oh. And she says to the white man, "Excuse me, sir, you've been randomly selected for an advanced security search. What this will entail is a thorough search of all your luggage. We might have to take some off the plane. We'll go through your technology, and we might have to do an advanced cavity search as well." Now, I knew the man she was speaking to was English, because the way he took the information. He was very stoic, straight back, stiff upper lip, but his eyes were darting as if to say, "Can you not see these two in front of me, for fuck's sake? What the hell is going on?" The pièce de résistance came at the end, when this brown woman picked up this man's luggage, walked past me and my brother, and just went, "Come on, sis! Get him! Let him know! Let me do the advanced cavity search on this motherfucker." But life is good, you know? I'm trying my best in my 40s, and I say this to people in their 40s, 50s. It's really important that you appreciate every single day, right? Because when you're young, you've got all these ambitions, all these hopes, you want to look good on social media and all this stuff. None of that shit matters, bro. When you get to your 40s, 50s, all you really want is to be surrounded by people you love and who love you. That's all we've got. Thank you, one person. The rest of you are like, "No, actually, I want money. What I want is money." So the only blip on my life, I guess, at the moment, because everything is like I'm having a really nice time, the only blip on my life at the moment is that I'm recently single. A 6-year relationship came to an end. She took the dog. And that is why I love this country. I told you a human relationship of 6 years came to an end. 2 of you went, "Ah." Then I told you she took the dog. The rest of you went, "Fucking bitch." Dogs before people. So now I'm out dating, and oh my God, dating when you're a 41-year-old Asian man who's never been married, I don't have children, women think I'm a paedophile. They know what the fuck is going on. And I didn't know that to be able to date, I needed to know stuff about dating specifically. Like the way I used to do it when you're younger, you go on a date, first date, you find out about the woman's dreams, hopes, aspirations, all that kind of stuff. I went on a first date a couple of weeks ago, and this woman started talking to me about love languages. Give me a cheer if you know what love languages are. Yeah. Love languages, attachment styles. What the fuck is going on, bro? I just want to know if you suck dick on a first date. What are you doing? This woman goes, "What's your love language?" I said, "I don't know, Burger King." She's like, no. Love language is the way you give and receive love. I said, "Babe, tell me what yours are, so if they work with me." She goes, "Okay." My love languages are, I like physical touch and words of affirmation. Physical touch, words of affirmation. So I got in a headlock and told she was fit. This is also a really difficult job to find love in, right? Because I'm out most nights performing comedy. And comedy is also quite a youthful pursuit. People don't always believe that I'm 41 years old, and then they talk to me and hear me breathing, and they're like, "Okay, yeah, he's definitely in his 40s. But what will happen is, I don't want to brag, but after gigs, you know, women will talk to me. All right, fuck off. Right? The silence hurt me, actually. After gigs, women will talk to me, and then I'll talk to women, and there'll be a bit of flirty going on. But I've got to be honest, sometimes there's a bit of an age gap. You know, not illegally. I'm not a white presenter on the BBC. Or the artist formerly known as Prince Andrew. Now that he's not a prince, we can say it. Andrew's a nonce, isn't it? The guy's a nonce, right? What I mean is my reference points are a bit different to the women I meet, because I was born in 1984, right? So my reference points are the things that I enjoy and understand and different to the women I meet. So what I've had to do when I meet a woman, before it gets too flirtatious, I've had to devise a foolproof test to make sure she's age appropriate. So what will happen, we'll start flirting, I'll stop her and I'll go... And then I'll say, full moon. Half moon. And if she's age appropriate, she'll say, yeah! And there's people in their 20s here going, what the fuck is going on, bro? In the 90s, there was an advert on TV for something called Jaffa Cakes, right? And there was this Polish woman, and she's teaching the class about the lunar calendar, right? And she gets a full Jaffa cake, and she says, full moon. And then she takes half a bite, and she says, half moon. And then she puts the whole thing in her mouth, and then she says, total eclipse. I don't know why she's Jamaican at the end. Lil, totally tropical. But you've got to try and find love. And the thing is, it's like, love, relationships, all that, it's all become a bit depraved now, because I think love is so dispensable. People feel like, oh, if I get split up with someone, I can just find someone else, get on an app, whatever. And I've got to try and use these apps, and I fucking hate them. Apps, dating apps are not designed for brown men. They're designed by brown men. Very good software engineering. But not for brown men. And what I alluded to earlier is, Asian men have never been sexualized on TV, film, media, books. We're never presented as a viable sexual option. We're always presented as like the terrorist or the drug dealer or fucking Aladdin! But I was undeterred. In my 40s, I have to say I'm more confident than I've ever been in my life. Financially, mentally, emotionally, sexually, the most confident I've ever felt in my life. And I thought, Eshaan, you know what? It's fine. There's one app you'll be absolutely fine on. And no, it's not Uber. There's one app. I downloaded an app called Field. Now, if you don't know what Field is a kink and sex dating app. Sorry, Dad. Field is a kink and sex dating app where you match with people based on their kinks and sexual desires, right? So I matched with this lass and went on a date. And I said to her, what's your thing? And she goes, I'm into sub-dom play, submission and domination. I said, fine, what do you want me to do? She goes, I want you to be the dom. I said, fine, I can do that. If anyone can, Eshaan can. She said, have you ever done this before? I said, no, I haven't actually, it's my first time. I said, have you done this before? She goes, yeah, many times. I said, slag. She said, good start. I said, right, you're gonna have to guide me because I've never done this. She goes, okay, here's what's gonna happen. Throughout this dinner, so I help you get into the state of mind of being the dom, I'm gonna keep addressing you as daddy. I said, Siobhan. I said, Siobhan, look, I don't want to kink shame you, okay? I understand you've got a complicated relationship with male figures in your life. It could be a stepfather, it could be an older male cousin, which is why in the bedroom you need to say the word daddy because it simultaneously evokes a sense of sexual arousal, but also emotional safety. I think you should see a therapist about that. But I'm not comfortable with you calling me daddy, so how about instead of you calling me daddy, why don't you call me Popper Dom? You're welcome, top secret. That's what we call in the business, a cracker. Okay. Guys, you've been absolutely delightful. Thank you so much for coming out tonight and supporting me. My name is Eshaan Akbar. Stay very well. See you soon. Bye-bye.